In other news, the Marawi Compensation Board has explained why claimants affected by the Marawi siege cannot receive full compensation for their losses. MJ Mondejar tells us more.
Kasalukuyan na tayo nagpoproseso ng tulong pinansyal para sa mga biktima ng Marawi siege upang sila ay makapagsimula muli.
President Bongbong Marcos has mandated agencies to process financial assistance for the victims of the Marawi siege to aid them in their recovery efforts. This was discussed during the convening of the House Ad Hoc Committee on Marawi Rehabilitation and Victims' Compensation. According to the Marawi Compensation Board, over 2,000 claims have applied for compensations since it opened on July 4. On the first day alone, millions worth of claims were received.
Doon pa lang sa application level, 400 million for structure and then 300 million for personal properties. One day pa lang yun, no?
The board estimates that over 17,000 families are expected to apply for claims. Moreover, it clarified to claimants that they should not expect a 100% full refund for their lost properties during the war. They also provided advice for those with substantial claims, those who lost businesses, houses, buildings, and real estate properties during the 5-month war in the city.
It cannot be approximated ng ganon, no, 100% kasi ang compensation is not really 100% na you will be compensated. As much as you can prove and as much as the board can adjudicate based on the evidence that you presented.
There is a standard compensation for the families and those who lost their lives during the war. Each family will receive 350,000 pesos as assistance, regardless of the immeasurable value of the lives lost. Here is a standard compensation for the properties.
For the structure, as we said, if it's totally damaged, it's 18,000 per square meter per story. So let's say 100 square meter yung bahay, 1.8 million.
This year, the Marawi Compensation Board has a budget of 1 billion pesos to be distributed among the victims of the Marawi siege. The application for claims is open until July 2024.
Nanunumbalik na ang sigla sa pamayanan, maraming proyekto ang nakumpleto at mga infrastrukturang naitatayo.
To fulfill the President's statement, the Task Force Bangon Marawi is currently working tirelessly.
Yeah, mga katingin ko, abot na tayo ng almost 90% given the new facilities that we have just started.
However, for the local government, the Marawi rehabilitation is far from reality. The initial plan for turnover to the local government unit in December 2022 has been delayed again due to numerous unfinished projects. The lack of a water system in Marawi remains the biggest obstacle. Local officials are hopeful that they can complete the rehabilitation of their city as soon as possible. And this is not forgotten by President Marcos Jr.
Papasalamat tayo sa ating mahal na Presidente at ma-remind man lang yung mga department na kung saan kung may mga kulang na proyekto na nasa master plan ng Marawi Rehab, dapat ilagay na.
So nagkakaroon tayo ngayon ng pag-uusap with the Armed Forces of the Philippines, the Governor and the Mayor and of course the Task Force Bangon Marawi.
With that, local officials concerning the Marawi rehabilitation are hoping that a bigger budget will be allotted for the rehab next year. For Government of Philippines, MJ Mondejar, SB9 News.
A lawmaker expresses support for President Bongbong Marcos' call to grant amnesty to rebel returnees as a step to end armed struggles and deception among Filipinos. Jade Calabroso reports.
A congressman declared support for the proposal of granting amnesty to rebels who will return to the fold of the government. This is in line with President Bongbong Marcos' announcement during his second State of the Nation address that he will issue a proclamation granting amnesty to rebel returnees. According to Deputy Majority Leader and Tingog Party List Congressman Jude Asidre, this shows the president's determination to end the decades-long insurgency in the Philippines.
Honestly, I was, when I first heard it, narinig ko yun, I was actually surprised, no? And pleasantly surprised with the President. It shows his determination talaga na matapos na ang problema natin sa insurgency. And it shows the right attitude, no, with regards to peace building.
Under Section 19, Article 7 of the 1987 Constitution, the President has the authority to grant amnesty with the concurrence of a majority of all the members of Congress. Fidel V. Ramos was the first president to grant amnesty to rebels when he issued Proclamation number 347 in March 1994. Meanwhile, former President Rodrigo Duterte issued 4 proclamations in 2021, granting amnesty to members of the Communist Movement, Moro National Liberation Front, and Moro Islamic Liberation Front. Meanwhile, Congressman Asidre vehemently condemns all forms of violence perpetrated by the CPP, NPA, NDF.
We always condemn violence in all its forms. Well, the CCP-NPA, of course, kung magpatuloy yung pamamaraan nila, para sa akin, Jade, walang justification for violence in any form.
The lawmaker also supports the National Task Force to end Local Communist Armed Conflict, or NTF-LCAC, in achieving peace and development in rural areas.
What we're happy with the NTF-LCAC is that we are able to present a pro-development approach in solving the insurgency problem. Hindi naman sa lahat ng pagkakataon, bala rin ang katapat ng bala. Nakikita natin kahirapan. Pag nawala ho ang kahirapan, pag nabawasan ang kahirapan, naipabot natin ang serbisyo ng gobyerno. Siyang ginagawa ng LCAC, malaking bagay po yun, hindi lang sa pansamantalang kapayapaan, kundi sa pangmatagalang pag-unlad ng ating mga kanayunan, which we fully support.
When asked about increasing the budget of NTF-LCAC, here is the lawmaker's response.
Well, suportahan natin yung mga not just for the anti-insurgency context ng programa, pero alam ho natin at kitang-kita ho natin na direkto ho sa tao ang benepisyo ng mga programa ng LCAC. Nakikita ho natin yon dun sa paggawa ng mga classroom, pagbubukas ng mga daan, at ang epektong maganda ho sa LCAC at kaya tayo susuporta doon is yung long-term talaga na solusyon na binibigay nito. Hindi lang yung pangsamantalang nawala yung insurgency, kundi yung mga nasa ugat mismo ng insurgency ina-address ho natin.
Based on the data from the government's Anti-Communist Task Force, it is estimated that almost 36,000 former rebels have returned to the government. For God and my beloved Philippines, this has been Jade Calabroso, SMNA News.